Yeah, it's amazing how fast she picked up on the Twitter drill. I'm sure all my students were that quick. You send her a little note. Actually, this needs more than a follow Friday. Let's see.
Well, I have to add that I'm a very introverted person. So, for example, doing this video before my Twitter experience and just throw it out there was impossible.
More comfortable with sharing.
I am more, yeah. It's a little bit like a therapy for me.
Okay.
So I got interested in sharing the Fanagine experience.
Well, hello, Asma. And
Hi.
thank you for having us.
You think?
I'm here with in the office of with Asma Arnouch from Fanagine. She's the managing director of a coffee shop company that's about to open its first 2 locations at the beautiful Morocco Mall. She was kind enough to invite us over and talk to us a little bit about what she's doing, and in particular how she's using Twitter and social media in general. So you started in social media with Twitter in
Yes.
particular. So and how long have you been using the tool?
My first tweet was on January 20th of this year, 2011.
Okay. And so how did you get to that first tweet on January 20th? And what did it say?
It said "Hello World."
Okay, pretty standard. Okay.
Yeah.
So before you started using the tool, what was your perception of that platform?
I had a very wrong perception of Twitter. Actually, I was thinking of it more like a check-in system, actually, like Foursquare.
So what did you think was the use of it, or the raison d'être?
I personally didn't see, I was just wondering why would want to let the world know that he's having coffee with B. Frankly, I didn't think I had anything to say or to share.
Okay. So how did you get to start using the tool? What drove you
Well,
to?
I remember when I actually when we just started building Fanagine, I was sending out that questionnaire, and one of the copies got to you, and we started the conversation about social media. And so I got interested in sharing the Fanagine experience.
So your primary objective in starting to use Twitter was really to involve, to build community around the making of this coffee shop.
Yes.
Right. How did you find the learning curve? Anything that was hard to grasp? Any kind of concepts? Any features?
The features themselves were kind of easy, although I think it's still very challenging and very hard for me to make my point in 140 characters. Well, I have to add that I'm a very introverted person. So, for example, doing this video before my Twitter experience and just throw it out there was impossible. It's easier now, a little bit easier, because I kind of know who some of the viewers are, my followers on Twitter.
So you're more comfortable with sharing.
I am more, yeah. It's a little bit like a therapy for me.
Okay.
It's almost like it's impulsive. It's impulsive for like you tweet on an impulse. So I tend to be more authentic.
So you were saying impulse. Impulse is a pretty strong thing to acquire and integrate within 10 weeks time. So how do you?
Yeah, I tweet like that. Yeah, what I mean, I know it's a strong word, but what I mean, it's because the tool is time bound. You have to think fast and share your opinion right then, because otherwise people they move on with their conversations.
So for it to be relevant, you're saying you have to be quick
You have to be quick.
and concise.
Yes, and it's hard to make your point in 140 characters, but I mean it's good because otherwise we'll just go on without getting to the point.
Great.
But I kind of, I'm getting there. It helps me, like when I write emails, to get to the point, right, instead of like turning around the thing. So it's reflecting to my emails.
In the end, how has your, after about 10, 12 weeks of use, how has your perception changed of Twitter, if at all?
It changed a lot. Now, I can do it full time now. Before I thought I didn't have anything to say, and now I think it's a full-time job. I think you would always have something to say because there is always I find an interesting conversation going on that's relevant. Because you actually choose people that you follow based on their bio, based on that. So you're interested in what they say. So you quickly get into conversations. It's easier for me to share my personal experience because people are sharing personal stuff, and I think that's what people can relate to anyways. I mean, I can spend hours throwing info at them about what coffee we're making or whatever, we're doing at Fenagine, but if it's not personal, they cannot relate.
Right, it would
to
get boring pretty quickly.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
right. Yeah. So, any personal or professional ahas since you've been using it?
I think the first one was how creative, smart, talented, intelligent the people I'm following are. Really, I mean, I knew, of course, that there are smart, intelligent people here and out there, but it's something else to get to interact with them on a daily basis. Really. So that was my first aha. The photos that they're taking, the videos that they are making, the articles that they read.
How is it relevant to your business?
It is very relevant to my business actually, because from the beginning I wanted Fenagine to be part of the community and to be part of the community, not just like a slogan or something, but I really didn't know how. But I knew that's what we wanted. So now I can see that we can partner with those people's talent. So I would read about art, Mac, politics, etc. And I would. Yes, this is really interesting, but now I need to talk about coffee, and it was like an awkward feeling. I needed to push my info, and then I got interested in the conversations that were going on.
So you mean you participated into those conversations?
I did. I started because I was genuinely interested in the conversation.
And these were conversations that had nothing to do with coffee or coffee shop?
No, it was about photography, politics, art, people having coffee somewhere or tea or whatever. So then I started participating and sharing my personal opinion and my personal experience, and I started really hearing what people have to say, not just reading through conversations. And then magically, Fenagine experience became relevant, and people started to get interested in what I have to say. And I feel it's like real life actually. When I started listening to people, I was listened to. I read a lot of articles that Lamia Ben is posting out there. She's like my library or something.
Okay. Does she concentrate on any particular?
She concentrates on what I feel she concentrates on is social media and branding.
Okay, great.
And she CC'd me actually on an article she found about this coffee shop chain, which I thought was really nice of her. Yes, Well, a lot of them. There is Karim Bubker, for example. He's a great artist. We use those like so very interesting business books. We have Une Marocaine and we have Citizen Kane. He's very Kane on Twitter. I go to them to laugh and I go to them for news. They have like great coverage. They're very funny. I like Citizen Kane. I like his humor. He's very sharp and funny. He comments on things like the Oscars, for example. He has a very smart coverage of the Oscars.
Okay.
He's just, a lot of fun.
Great.
There is Desperate Seeker who gave us like few good tips on food squares and social media. And there is Shergawi, the Optimistic. Always optimistic tweets, and he always asks about, we ask everyone how everyone is doing. There is Soraya, and I'm going by her Twitter name, Soraya Ben7, I think her Twitter name is. And Mimitos, I think they're great photographers, and they go on photography project together, which I think is very cool. And there is also Chanel after Coco. I love her Twitter name. She's a med student, 21 years old. She's a fashionista, and she watches football, and she's an Arsenal fan. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I got to interact with the Moroccan great photographer and traveler, Leila Gandhi, who's going to do a documentary actually very soon. She's going to travel somewhere, and I thought it was very cool that she was asking her where they wanted to go.
Okay, great. So kind of your own objective. You're asking your community where they want to go with this coffee shop.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're here at the Morocco Mall, the future site of Fenagine.
Welcome at Partner Dust.
And so we've been talking about Twitter. What do you expect out of the tool?
Twitter is allowing us to let them know who we are, to give them a personal perspective of how we're building Fenagine. We also want to let them know that beyond being a coffee shop company, Fenagine is a group of people who have the same dream, the same aspirations, the same fears, and that most of the time we are moved by the same things that moves them. I know that everyone knows that companies are made, of groups of people, but to get to talk to those people and to hear their stories on a daily basis is a different thing.
So what could you share with your current fans about the business? What's really the concept?
إذن فناجين بالعربية فناجين مقهى مختص في المشروبات الإيطالية الرفيعة بحال في جوج نقط مهمة، هي أن فناجين فداك الشيء كله اللي غادي نديرو غتكون جودة عالية، سواء في المواد اللي كنقدموها ولا في الخدمة ديال الزبائن، كلهم خصها تكون جودة عالية. النقطة الثانية اللي مهمة هي أن بغيت تكون فناجين متميزة بأنها قريبة من كل هو محلي، وهادشي علاش كنفكروا دابا أننا نتعاملوا مع الفنانين اللي دابا أنا كنشوفهم في تويتر، نتعاملوا معاهم سواء من أنهم يشاركونا في هذا المشروع، سواء بتصاور ولا بفيديو ديالهم ولا بالفن الموسيقى ديالهم إلى آخره.
How do you plan to use the tool in the future?
I'm planning to get everyone in the company involved with the social media tool.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because I think they're the people interacting with the customers every day, and we really need to create a link between the virtual and the physical. We cannot just isolate ourselves virtually.
In the virtual world, but rather materialize it in the real world.
We have a link with the physical and the virtual, and this link are the people working with customers on a daily basis.
Great. So, any message for the future fans, your current and future fans?
It's Veronique Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, and you'll know what's going on.